What's up guys, this is ScherBR talking, welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I'll be giving you a preview of the new banner Romancing Festival Final Empress. That we already have the data inside the game, but it's much better to use Hands 43 information we have here on Reddit because it has all the comparisons to the JP counterparts of the characters, and they buffed Final Empress, but just defensively, you can see that you now have 105% endurance and 121% will. That's the biggest difference. She's not really a full-time damage dealer, but it's okay. We have 120% STR, and then they changed the way that she gets defense ups. In the past version, it was just 25% damage reduction 2 times. They kept one and then gave her this turn begins defense up minus 15% damage 5 times. That's much better than, you know, this one 25%. In turn 2, you already have enough to compare to the old version, and then you will then have much better defense as time goes on. It seems like they really want us to keep stacking more and more defenses because bosses are just getting more and more attack boosts. She starts the fight with 13 BP, then she has this 50% increase to stun damage to everyone, including herself. She is a Sun leader for Sun squads. Then on turn begins, she casts this passive called Empress Resonance. When you use a Sun attack, she will then get 3 BP and also apply this defense boost that increases damage taken by 15% for allies. But not just her. It will work for everyone. So, she pairs super well with Leon, because Leon is now a very good character. And when Leon is using his skill number 3, he would then apply a defense boost as well. He will get 3 BP, so that he can keep using that skill as well, so that now we have even more defense boost when using these two together. I believe that it's also very easy to use ScherBR, but ScherBR will need to attack to get those 3 BP. This is skill number 1 that also recovers BP when attacking. It's something that would trigger the effect, but if possible you should just be using skill 3 with ScherBR. Okay. Then, on multiply of 5 turns, she's gonna recharge the skill number 2. That is the same one as Maria from the past. It's an AoE Sun recovery spell that will heal, recover around 2000, and also revive. It's fast, and after healing, applies 1 evasion for 1 time. Very nice, because Maria cannot recharge this, but she can. And you already know that Empress is a good character for evasion, or even for full protection from her Imperial Shield. If you want to use Karatsu Wisteria Wall, you can also inherit from her past style and use it to apply a healing and a chance to evade on full HP and a guarantee evasion when not on full HP. When you use a recovery action, you also recover 5 EP, meaning that if you use skill number 2, you're gonna get it for free. Other very good usage of this is because when you run Leon together with Empress, you will apply a 50% damage reduction when using a recovery action, meaning that when she is recovering, she still keeps the defense up and it stays free for her. Also, when recovering, she casts this defense boost of large effect for 3 turns just to self. Okay. Then, we already discussed the defense up. By end of turn, she recovers very small HP and 2 BP as well. So, if she is attacking, she's going to get another 3 BP, and then 2 by the end of turn. So, she gets at least 8 per turn. It's pretty nice. And if she's used it together with Leon, Leon is gonna get another 3 to her. And then if you are using ScherBR, ScherBR is gonna give the remaining. Then she has a damage reduction passive like we discussed, decreasing 25%, and then she gets this heat up every turn to increase damage potential by 15%, up to 5 times to self. So in the end, you should consider 3 BP by the end of turn, 3 BP when attacking with Sun, and then extra 2, for a total of 6 BP per turn without anything else. If you are running Leon, Leon also gives as much as 3 BP per turn. Eventually, she will be getting 11. Her best skill costs 13, and this one is a triple S power attack, slashing Sun single target. It's fast now in global, and it applies defense boost of large effect for 3 turns for all allies. Large means minus 35% damage. It is much better than medium, that is just 25. When stacking, because it's multiplicative, you actually get much better values. And it should not be so hard to keep up running this if you're running a squad that has at least Leon. And she still has hit-ups, 5 times 15% damage increase for the whole fight. And we already discussed it about the other defensive reduction by 25%. I think the biggest difference is that her past version already have 25% damage decrease to the party, while this one has to use skill 3. Besides, she has a 3BP skill that also recovers very small effect for all allies. Action order is also increased for 3 turns, but it's very rarely useful. So if you are also running Katarina, you should have very good enough BP while also having lots of different stuff. And you don't really need to use Empress together with other Sun units. She works by herself if you can keep casting skill 3. Or if you want to inherit the Imperial Shield or Karatsu Wisteria Wall. So I did some calculations for final Empress, and the results are impressive. If you can keep up running skill number 3 every turn, she can reach 75% damage reduction by herself. Because of 3 times 35% and then 1 time 15% from her Sun special. Now, Shirei can apply 2 times 15% damage reduction, so that alone is already 75% damage reduction, alongside 15% from passive. He can reach as much as 79% damage reduction from just his own skills. Pretty similar stuff, but Shirei does not attack, while Empress does. She can get some more benefits from attacking, like having Katarina in the party, although she does not have a chase. If she had a chase, she would have been perfect. I believe she deserves 4.5 out of 5, because it feels like something is still off. But I am not entirely sure, so please give me your feedback in the comment section before I can make the full review. But she is really one of the best characters of the game right now, and you think about her after Leon, Rei, and Katarina. Those are the characters that we will be using as our first options when fighting hard challenges. But if you already have all of those 3, and also Katarina, you are pretty much set. She just increases even more value. And having 3 out of these 4 characters is also a very good thing. Moving on, we have Hannibal, and Hannibal was buffed for SGR, Endurance and Will. Very good values. Agility is just fine. He starts the fight with 12 VP. When attacking, he has a 50% chance to apply an attack boost that increases damage potential, I believe, by 30%, and a defense boost that decreases damage taken by 15%. Both effects last for 2 turns, but just 50% chance to trigger. He does have a skill from his Epaminondas styles that attack 2 times, meaning that this guy can actually trigger this multiple times. Even more because when he attacks, already chases with Rising Dragon. So you have 3 chances of applying this. It is useful because on Remembrance now, we don't have many defense boosters for spears. And this Rising Dragon is the same skill that you can use with Emperor. In his spear style, it's a skill that enters evasive counter and counters with Swooping Dragon Plus. So, pretty strong attack that will also recover HP. So, he needed very good agility in order to be fast and attack before the enemy. So if you want to use this skill from Epaminondas, you will not have a fast property, but you then have 3 hits that can apply the attack and defense boosts. But there's also something else. On multiple of 3 turns, he will even attack again with Dragon Spear Cross. It is the same one that you can use with Epaminondas. So 2 attacks. Meaning that every 3 turns, you can actually attack as much as 5 times. So there's a good chance of having many attacks and defense boosts, but it's still RNG based, but you only need to clear Megalith Dragon once. Then he has Spear Intrinsic to decrease damage taken by 40% when resisting, 37% chance to evade, resisted attack, and 20% damage potential. Skill number 1 is free and applies Guard Up Medium to self, decreasing damage taken by 25%, and you should only use if you don't have anything better to. The second one is the same attack as Kun, that has 3 hits with 8 power Piercing Sun, attacks randomly 3 times. Then the third one is the one that you should be using if you don't have Inheritance, because it's 12 BP, but it's also fast. Before attacking, he uses Flash of Inspiration 1, permanent, and then attack. The third skill is fast and can only be used once. Before attacking, you will apply Flash of Inspiration 1 to your character, that will then allow you to recover very small HP when attacking. Also, 1 BP buff SGR by 5%, and also apply an attack boost that increases damage potential by 15%. Then attack. So, that's the only skill that is fast from this build. So he works well with buffers to buff his own agility, and there is at least one skill that you can get, called a Divine Lancer, that applies attack boost so that his chases are better. But I don't know if the second skill has good enough action order. This character here works only for Remembrance. He is a counter specialist for Megalith Dragon and should not be used anywhere else. Emperor is much better, so I believe he only deserves a 3.5 out of 5. Moving on, we have Georg, and he got very nice buffs to Endurance and Will, 135 now, and nothing else here stands out. He's just a tank, but a very good one. He has Super Scrum Guard. He decreases damage taken for all allies by 30%, and if they are still alive, another 30. So 2 stacks of minus 30% damage, and then he also increases damage potential by 10%. When he's attacked, he triggers a defense boost that decreases damage taken by 15%, only for that turn, but he keeps stacking. And he will also apply a Slash, Blunt, and Pierce defense boost for allies. This is for allies only. So it's just for 1 turn. It's kind of like how you use Joe. That every new hit you take, you're going to decrease damage taken further. But not as good as Joe, of course. When attacking, you also activate skill number 2. That is a single target attack that can cast Guard Up Medium to self for 2 turns. A defense boost that decreases damage taken by 15% for all allies. This defense boost is nice because he keeps applying this when attacking, and can actually use this skill as well. So if you use this skill and chains with the same, you are applying 2 defense boosts that decrease damage taken by 15% for everyone. He also has our wall defense 7, decreasing damage taken at all times by 50%. Skill 1 can taunt by a small effect, but you can keep using if you want, and also applies a guard up maul. I don't think this is so useful, actually. It just works well by using skill 2. Then the skill number 3 uses 10 BP and can only be used once. It's Devotion's Heart. Then you have now a 37% chance to cover if you want. You take an ally's place when they are attacked and you reduce damage taken. It's useful because it's 37% chance, but we already have characters with 50% chance as well. When he is now attacked, he would then be buffing Dexterity and Intelligence for all allies. It's funny that he buffs Dexterity, but he doesn't use Dexterity at all. And Intelligence is also not useful for Remembrance's Sword. I don't know which squad you want to build with this guy. Then he taunts, medium effect, permanent. Buff follow is nice because it's 15%, much like, you know, Julian or the newest Emperor and many others, but it just doesn't fit well. This character works because he's pretty defensive, but in the end, we already have very good counters. So he works for Remembrance if you need help, but he's also a sword user, meaning that if you already have Tihachi, you're not having problems with Sword Remembrance, of course, right? So, good character, but also pretty skippable. I would say 3.5 is also okay for him. And then the last one will be Tambora. And Tambora is damage dealer with RNG. 132% STR, 90% Endurance, and 80% will. Very bad. They didn't buff much, and buffed Agility at least. Well, this character starts the fight with the 20 BP max, but only 10 to use. But then when attacking, has 50% chance to recover 10 BP. Well, he starts the fight with 13 BP, and when starting turns, will be buffing all status by 15% as well. Has Axe Intrinsic that decreases damage taken by 40% when resisting, 37% chance to evade resisted attacks, and a 20% damage potential. And besides, when he uses skill number 3, he will also increase his own slash and hit damage by 50%, can trigger 3 times. But you don't want to start with skill number 3, you want to use skill number 2 first. This is a support skill that can only be used once, that gives him a 50% chance to chase with skill number 3 after using skill number 3. So, you want to keep using skill number 3, but you are also attached to an RNG. Okay, Skill number 3 is a 13 VP attack. With 4S power, slash and hit before attacking gives you an attack boost of 30% damage increase, then attack. It is strong, but this card doesn't have many damage potential, like some others, and then you have a 50% chance to chase. Each of your attacks will have a chance of getting that 10 BP, so that with good RNG you can actually attack 2 times with 4S power. Is that good enough? Well, it is, but we have the newest Ellen that is a much better character as well. She can already do damage and also debuff for Remembrance, and we are lacking more support, I guess, or more healers. I don't know. I do have some good stuff, but I don't think that Tambora is going to help much people that already have Ellen. But it works. It's a character that just do damage, doesn't help the party at all. Also, very limited. I believe it's not really recommended to pull, and deserves just a 3.0. And I believe it only deserves a 3 out of 5. As you can see, no character here is really recommended besides Final Empress. It's not to say that Hannibal is bad, because he can save your runs on Megalith Dragon, and Georg is pretty defensive and works, but it's just that we already have better characters for these setups, for real challenges, and I will not see many people using them. Although, you can run Georg if you want, for very specific squads that need dexterity and intelligence buffs. But this guy does not have a very good kit, he does not taunt passively, and he is also attached to Screw Guard, meaning that if someone dies, you lose 30% of your defenses. So I don't think that this banner has much value besides Empress. So the first one has Final Emperor, and he is a very good character, and there is also the Sherazade character being good for Remembrance. She makes more of an impact than Tambora, but both banners are technically skippable if you don't have enough gens. You should be pursuing Sheree and then Leon. But if you have enough gens, I would say choose your poison. I mean, Final Empress will be used in more squads than Final Emperor, because we don't use counter units all the time. But both banners have similar value. I believe I'll be giving her banner a Silver Plus award, just because of the real utility of Final Empress. But any of the other cards you get, maybe use it here and there, but they are not good enough. Okay, so at least this is my first impression. What is yours? Please say here in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I hope to see you soon in the next video or live stream. Goodbye.